Hello.
Welcome everybody to the commentary zone. We're just jumping straight in today. Up on the docket, we have the Real Housewives of New York City, season 13, episode 5. How nude? Um, okay. Any overall thoughts on this episode?
I hate to say it, but I'm not really into this season yet because, like
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's undercast, and I feel like everything's a reach right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to get into when the show itself is straining for content.
Okay. Um, I agree with you. There's not enough characters, and I think the prolonged isolation in Camp Ramona is not beneficial to anyone. I think they're all trying to get their cut of screen time. Bringing Heather in did not help. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I did enjoy the episode. My favorite of the episode was Sonia, to tell the honest truth. Her little comments, both within the drama and then in the confessionals, were kind of everything for me. It got me through the episode.
Yeah, Sony was definitely a highlight. But I just, I'm struggling so much with this season. I just really am. And I think this is why part I think this is partly why Atlanta failed. You just didn't have enough characters. Enough
Mm.
there's not enough meat. I mean, you need more than just chicken to have a full meal. You just do. And right now you're giving me chicken and maybe an asparagus or two. And it's not enough. It's not
Mm.
enough. I mean, we're on what, week 3 or week 4 at Ramona's? I mean, is it that bad?
Well, they don't have any place else to go because they're filming during COVID, and New York State had most of the state shut down except for the rebels out on Long Island, and that's where Ramona's house is. Um, so that's where they went. They don't really have any choice for anything in the city.
I understand that, but they all have homes somewhere. They could have done something because this is not good for them. This is not good for this show. There's again not enough content.
Hi, Susan. No need to
I mean,
apologize. Thanks
for
for tuning
example,
in.
we see Garth again, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then Victoria, she's setting up this painting situation, okay, with the little nude male model, fine, whatever. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, even that wasn't interesting.
Well, she's never been interesting. I'm just saying. She's her mother's child. She's never been interesting.
I mean, but you would think, like, if they were gonna do a whole like male model scene, yeah, 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 you think there would be a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
interest. There's just nothing.
Um, but if the male model isn't interesting, how could you think it would be interesting?
Fair. And then well, you have Leah still like crying over her grandmother. I'm like, well, if you feeling some kind, I'm sorry, and I can sympathize, but like if you're feeling some kind of way about not being there for your grandmother, leave and go visit your grandmother in her last days.
But didn't she say that her mother wasn't giving her like a slot time to go and talk with her grandmother? Remember she was saying that to Ebony? She was
But
letting everybody else go except her?
well, at the end of the day, you go just even if you get to sit out, even if you can't go in, if you just go and sit there, go and sit there. Because you being there boohooing and blowing snot, crying
Yeah.
about it, it's not doing you no good,
Yeah.
and that's not good TV. It's just not.
Yeah. And I'm sure that they would have let her go.
Yeah, of course.
They would have let her out of this, considering her grandmother's condition. So, yeah, it is counterproductive to what we really want to see.
Yeah, their fights are generally the same.
What did you
People,
think about Ramona going to Heather and asking her about her podcast and then saying, just don't talk about me, period?
I was like, good luck with that. Now, if I was telling them like, my podcast, I talk about what I want to. In fact, I want to talk about you again as soon as I get back. How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been good TV.
Did you ever realize the ladies fight about the same thing at the table? Well, yeah, it's kind of boring.
I mean, let's be honest. This whole episode was about Leah and how she talks. Ramona doesn't like that. Leah, she doesn't know how Leah acts about like she doesn't like videos like Leah. She won't say it. I felt that Leah overreacted as usual for camera time because I don't think it's unreasonable for someone to come to you and say, "Hey, these words offend me. Can you please not use them in my presence?"
But I'm going to throw this out there. Do you think Leah has a point that it's hypocritical of Ramona to just want her to not say those words when she and Sonia talk about those words all the time? Sonia can say whatever she wants out of her mouth. Remember last season when they were at the big house on Long Island that was actually up for sale, and
Mm-hmm.
Ramona was hobnobbing, and Sonia said, "I don't shave my feet," and they think, "Oh, that's just her being drunk." But with Leah, she lacks class and elegance. Really? Really?
Mm-hmm. That's a very fair point. This is, but
And
this is why
but
this is
that's
why I
what she
say,
was asking for, was consistency. You can't go from showing me your titties and your ass last night to telling me I can't talk about big peen today.
mm,
Especially after we just got finished painting a peen that you were participating in.
Vale has a very good point. The problem is the Ramon sees Leah like a child. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then Leah was right in saying, stop, like, I'm not your daughter. Stop comparing me to your daughter.
Yeah, but I think Leah overreacted still.
Oh,
But
she does. She does.
she needs that camera time.
Well, that's what they're all there for.
I know, but there's certain things, like for example, like she blew up and she's like, "Well, you're a blah, blah, blah." But then she leaves, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then Ebony and Luann and them get into it. And then
Mm-hmm.
like she's standing out there, and it was like it's like the producer told like Leah, they're not coming out for you. Go back in.
Oh
So
yeah.
then she charges back in. I'm like, that is just so random. I'm gonna need y'all to stop
Mm-hmm.
this. I'm gonna need y'all to really stop. Cause that part did my head in. I was like, this is dumb.
Well, they finally sent her home when they realized that the racial thing was coming out.
Hmm.
So I was just like, okay, Leah's no longer needed to further agitate the situation. We've got it here. Um, but you know what? Someone trying to explain something to these women who are so stuck in their ways and their sensibilities and their lifestyle
Hmm.
and their little Upper East Side cocoon, whether you scream it at them or say it to them in a calm voice, they're not going to hear it. What Heather said was correct. They're not listening to each other. They were so busy trying to get camera time and talk over each other and at some points, try to shut Ebony down, because Ramona's hearing condition. What is Ramona's hearing condition? We've been hearing about this for years. And it's basically, to me, she has no hearing condition. She just doesn't want to fucking hear anybody else.
Yeah.
If you have a hearing condition, okay, I know people have hearing loss. So no matter
Hmm.
how much somebody is screaming, it's not hurting your head if you have hearing loss, unless she
Right.
has some sort of hypersensitivity in her ears. But then you've been around Sonia and Bethany for years.
Hmm.
Where was your hearing problem then? Shut up, Ramona. You were just trying to not hear what was being said. You were trying to silence someone speaking on their feelings. You were trying to silence someone saying the truth about you and your friend. I don't know.
It's just, oh my goodness, and it was just, that was just so. I can't even say it's triggering. It was just like, wow, you cannot handle this right now because Ebony was just telling you the truth about it is, and then I love what Ebony told them, like, well, how am I being? I'm not sure if she said both at the confessional at the table, but I think it's more.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in the confessional when she said, like, how is Leah like jumping up, yelling at you, swearing at you, all this
Mm-hmm.
and that, cussing y'all out, and storming off? She wasn't called angry, but just because I speak, um, I guess in an elevated tone or whatever, I'm angry, and you can't tell me that's not racial. I'm like, nope, you can't really can't.
Uh, the smug smile on Luann's face, it said it all to me. It said it all to me. And she was there arguing about education and who's
Mm-hmm.
smart and who it isn't. She really made herself look dumb last night.
Mm-hmm.
She really made herself look dumb last night. And I don't know if anyone else saw it, but in our description, I put a link to Ebony's IG page. She's taking a 2-week break from social media, but she had a video on why she's doing it. And if you have time, take a look at it. It's very interesting. But this cast, all I can say is the Countess has returned and Ramona needs to get her ears checked. And Sonia was the
Exactly.
VIP of this episode for me. She looked lovely in that top at the lunch. I like her in
Something
nice
always looks
bright
good.
colors. Yeah, yeah, she looked really good. Um, I, I, and the producers are so shady because when Ebony says, "Run the clip," or what did she say?
Mm-hmm.
Run the tape back. Run the tape back, and they do,
Mm-hmm.
proving her point. Child.
And they're going. I'm just going on Twitter right now. People coming in for Luann because Luann put out some tweet that's been deleted, but somebody caught it. I'm hoping they
Oh.
repost it.
Remember, Luann has no issue with black. Yeah. I gave her a pass on that one, even though I shouldn't have.
I don't. I never give passes on that one.
Well, no one else made a big deal about it. That was the thing. And I was just like, okay, maybe I'm just a little hypersensitive,
It's not like it's theater
but
makeup. That's where I kind of like look at things. Like, is it theater? Is it theater makeup, or are you just doing a costume? To me, there's a
she
fine line
wasn't
there.
in a theater, and you
Right.
can do Diana Ross without doing,
Oh,
like, if I
yeah.
were to do Diana Ross, I would not put on like 10 tons of bronzer. I would not.
Mm-mm.
You can imitate characters without changing your complexion. I'm sorry.
I totally agree. I mean, this episode, like I
Yeah.
said, this. Here's the thing, and this is just my opinion. This episode didn't have the impact the way Bravo thought it would. I thought this would be. I really think they thought this would be their first bang episode of the season, and it's not because of the way it went down and the way the ladies acted. They
Mhm.
showed their whole ass in those
Mhm.
last 15 minutes. They whole ass.
Yeah. I always thought that Luann and Ramona would be the problems this season. And although I had been anticipating it, when Luann did what she did, it was not entertaining. How am I supposed to watch y'all moving forward?
It's going to be difficult because we're left to our own devices. And when we're left to our own devices and thinking, you have to look at it for what it is. And what Luann did and what Ramona did, two separate actions, same connotation. You're both trying to shut Eboni down in different ways. Ramona's like, oh, I can't hear you. Okay, the same thing as I don't see you. And Luann, like, I'm not gonna even touch that. Like, yeah, you're not gonna touch it because you know what you feel.
Well, she also knows what she said. You don't have to put the black in there if you're calling somebody an angry woman. You just don't.
Especially in that context. In that context
and in
in
that
that environment.
tone, and in that tone, she said it. You're just an angry woman. What? Who are you talking to, Luann? The driver, Countess de Lesseps?
But there's always been like an assumption that Luann felt this way. Come on now. It's not. This is, and this the thing is, and here's where I have to. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right words. I'm just gonna say it this way. There's long been assumptions that Luann felt this way, Ramona as well. I think what it is kind of shocking to actually see it on screen, on actual tape.
You know what killed me? Luann said, her and Ramona were raised similarly in a conservative Catholic background. I know plenty of Catholics who don't behave like this.
Exactly.
You could have left out the Catholics. Don't bring them down into your sewer with you. One of my good friends since I moved here to Florida is a Catholic, and she would never behave like that. Never. You know why? Because she opens up her Bible and she reads and she follows the doctrine. I don't understand how you could equate your behavior with any sort of Catholicism. I might have mispronounced that.
I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to throw my phone, but I love my phone because when she said I was raised a conservative Catholic, blah blah blah, I'm like, okay, you take a lot of pride in that, but based on the little I know about Catholicism, they don't really believe in divorce. So you've done that twice over. So I'm gonna need you to really sit down and not bring up religion anymore.
They believe in extra cheating on your husband, and she did that openly and behind her first husband's back. She's done it while she's been in relationships. Remember the pirate? Yeah. No. And if what Heather said on her podcast was correct about the extracurricular activities, that ain't part of your religion neither, sister. We'll come again.
Exactly. So I'm just like, you just need to stop. Just shut up. Stop talking. I was raised conservative. I'm like, what? Yeah. No. I mean, if we're being completely honest, the episode could have only been 15 minutes and we've been okay with it. They could have put a whole nother show with no commercials before this 15-minute clip and we have been fine.
Well, I would have missed out on Sonia because I do tune in to see Sonia. I don't know why I like her, but I just do. She's just fun for me. She's not complicated. She's fun. And even when she's down in the dumps with all of the stresses of her real life upon her, I still like her because to me, she seems so harmless. And I know it might be an act. But I enjoy Sonia, much like how I enjoyed Dorinda before she got mean. Um,
You know what? With Sonya, I think Sonya is more relatable. Like she's showing what probably lots of women go through. Like I'm divorced. I'm trying to find a way to make money on my own. I'm having all these financial issues. She
mhm.
lets you see the struggle. She's not
Yeah,
pretending.
yeah. But she
It,
also lives in her own little delusional bubble too.
she does. She does.
And I do like how she might not have the finances of some of the other ladies, but how many assistants or interns does she have from local universities? Like that takes a real genius to figure that out and get
Hmm.
free assistance.
Oh yeah, they're trying. What it is, the intern. We just need some camera time.
And they get college credits for
Hmm.
it. That's really smart. That's really smart. Oh my god. Take over the show for me. Just I
Okay.
gotta my doorbell rang. Sorry.
No problem. So I'm just going to propose this out there. And I want to chat. I want you guys to answer honestly. Do we see this season getting much better? That's my first question. Yeah, Susan says no. Vale says no. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have high hopes for this season coming in anyway. I mean, everyone's tripping out because we have the first Black housewife in New York. Okay, years too late, but okay. But you're still woefully under um undercast, and then we still have, oh my god, you're undercast. Leah's there. We know everything we need to know about Ramona, Luann, and Sonia. Like, there's no fresh blood outside of Eboni, and Eboni can't carry the whole thing. I just put out a chat question.
Mhm.
Do we see this season getting better?
Well, we've got one more young lady coming, yes?
But she's a friend though. That's another issue.
But maybe they'll let her talk.
I hope so, because what they're giving me right now, I'm not feeling.
Um,
I'm just not feeling it.
yeah. Well, you know what it is too, because it's manufactured. I think it's because to me it seems manufactured, and
Hmm.
you're asking a bunch of idiots. And yes, Luann, you proved that you are stupid. Um, eh, I don't know. I think you needed smarter castmates in order to do this. That's just my opinion, and make it come off well.
Hmm.
Um, I, I'm going to continue watching it because I do have a soft spot for New York City because, well, I lived there. No, well, not in the city. I lived in Brooklyn. I was poor. But yeah, um, I have a soft spot for this franchise. I want to see it do better. I do like Sonia and I like Ebony. I hope they can bring on somebody else that I like. Um, Leah's got one more tantrum before I'm done with her. But I do like her sober, and I'm beginning to like Luann better when she was a drunk falling into a bush.
Leah with me is just, it's just Leah comes across as the most produced on the show, and for me that's a problem. So I can't get into her. I just can't. Like, what does Leah really have going on though?
Nothing.
And another question: how come we haven't seen Leah studying for her conversion? Why haven't we heard about her conversion since episode one?
But you really believe that?
No, but if you're gonna, like I said when we first covered this, I have a very big problem with people using religion for storylines. So for
Mm,
me, if you're gonna put this out there, I really expect you to follow through with it. Otherwise, you're making a mockery of these people of people's religion. I just don't like that.
mm-hmm. And Vale, yes, I do. More educated women like Ebony and not like Luann, yes. And you don't have to be like educated in the book sense or the degree sense, but educated enough to open your ears and listen and participate in a rational conversation and not try to close other people down about their feelings.
Hmm.
Um, you know, just be respectful. Ramona was raging on and on about being respectful, but yet you weren't respectful to others at the table because you didn't want to hear what they had to say.
Exactly, because this is hard to watch at this point in time because it's just there's nothing there for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
agree with definitely agree with Vale. We need a different. We need you know what it is. We need a cast similar to Beverly Hills because you have women who actually have careers, like real careers, real businesses, stuff we want to know about. These women have nothing going on,
Right. Right.
and I think that and now that we're talking about that's part of the struggle. Like these women have nothing going on. Like what is Ramona doing? Nothing. Luann's got nothing going on. Without Cabaret, Luann has nothing to do, nothing to talk about. We see Sonia. She's trying to like really rebuild her brand after the Century 21 thing fell through, which is great. We know what Ebony got going on. It's just boring. You can't have women on the show, only five, and four of them have nothing going on. Like Leah introduced us to her um business last year. That's an introduction I did not need. I didn't care. Um Luann
Well, we did
again,
need that just to see what she's about. We did need that. It was part of her background.
that's a background that should have stayed in the background because like I looked at the website and everything. Like okay, like I never heard of you, but okay, like if you're going to like bring your business, like keep showing us your business. It can't just be you
Mm-hmm.
acting a fool all the time.
Yeah.
Like if you guys have been there for a couple of hours, like we should see you working. Like we don't see them working, and that's a problem for me.
Well, could they work last season? Well, Luann could not do the cabaret.
We didn't,
Period.
but we didn't care about cabaret though.
No, we
That
didn't. We
yeah.
didn't. But I would have liked to see, like, does she have nothing else besides cabaret? Like, what about selling her house upstate? Like she could have gotten into real estate and investing. I don't know. I'm just pulling at straws here.
Mm. She's got nothing. She's got nothing, and that's a problem. I want to see what they have going on. Like, for example, like it would have been cool to see Luann with the vocal coach,
No, we've seen that already. No,
a real vocal
I
coach.
have a hearing problem. I have a
You know,
hearing problem.
we could see Ramona like relaunch True Renewal for like the fifth time to see if there's anything new there.
What happened to her wine? Remember the
The Pinot.
Pinot? Yeah.
Let's see. Where is
Just okay. So Susan says, just look at what we're seeing in the environment we live in. It's playing out on TV, and like it's acceptable to be so ugly. It's not acceptable to be so ugly, but when you wallow in your white privilege, then you believe it is okay. Um, Luann's smirk during most of her exchange with Ebony spoke volumes to me. It spoke
so
volumes.
it looks like you go buy Ramona's Pinot with a
Mm-hmm.
3-star rating from Bevmo.
Bevmo. Oh, that's an online.
Yeah,
Um,
Bevmo.com.
mhm.
You can buy it from wine.com, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy it from drizzly.com.
Hmm.
So yeah, she's Ramona's got her little wines out there. I ain't mad at it.
Mm.
But I would like to see her like what goes into that, like the order. I'm just interested to see what people have going on outside of the show.
Mm. Yeah. I don't think these ladies have much of anything going on outside of the show. And it's becoming very clear.
hmm I'll watch it, but for me, it's going to be a struggle just because of the lack of content. Like it's amazing to sit here and think about the way we're talking about this. Is like, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm a little harsh, that's okay. You can tell me it's cool. But is it sad that we are lacking content because their own lives are lacking content?
Yeah.
Like, is that a fair correlation to make? Is that we're lacking content because their own lives are lacking content?
And that's why these ladies should have been recycled a long time ago.
Chat. Thanks for letting me know, Debbie. I'm glad I'm
Mm.
not seeing it. Chat. What do you think about my assessment? Like, type one if you agree with me. Type two if you disagree. I'm just curious because I just had the same thing. Like, wow, like
One
they
for
have nothing
agree?
going. One for
I'm
if you agree with
voting.
me,
I'm voting one.
because it's like it's just amazing that we have nothing to work with. Like Debbie, is this episode 4 or 5?
Five. Five,
So
yeah.
episode 5, and we're already like crying. Like there's nothing going on.
Well, here's the thing. I think we were so used to people like Bethany, who was such an accomplished person with so many irons in the fire, like giving back, not only making money, but giving back. Then you have your divorce drama, you have your daughter, you have your new boyfriend of the week. Like you got the other boyfriend who died. Like you had going to court. Like you had a lot. And then buying real estate with that dude from the Million Show,
Yeah, Frederick.
Frederick. Like you, and then you showing up on this show, and you just like, I got a lot going on, girls. And if she cried, you understood because there was a lot going on,
Right.
you know.
Like think
Even
and like.
a character like Carol, who I never quite took a shining to, but she
Mhm.
had a journalistic career. She
Mhm.
was an author. She was a television news producer. She was married into the
Kennedys.
Jacqueline Kennedy's sister's family, because remember she married that prince,
Mhm.
and Carol was married to him. He died from cancer. Like she had that Kennedy Association adjacent. Like she had a full life.
Well, she really wasn't. No, she was in the Kennedys because that wasn't no adjacent because she married. She was good. That was no
Wait, but
adjacent.
technically she didn't marry a Kennedy because okay,
He was a Bouvier.
he
So
was a Bouvier,
and
but
so yeah,
Lee married the prince. So
yeah,
Lee was Jackie's sister. So that's why I say
yeah,
adjacent.
adjacent. Okay, I can get.
But Lee was good in her own right because she
Yeah,
married royalty,
right.
defunct royalty, but royalty
Well,
nonetheless.
royalty. It don't matter. It's still a title.
Yeah, and she was an accomplished woman on her own, but she
Right.
always was in the shadow of Jackie. So I'm gonna give
Mhm.
her props. But
Yes.
again, there's a lot to like gnaw on for
Mhm.
several seasons.
Right.
I don't know.
And then you had Dorinda, like
Hmm.
she had her philanthropy. She was about her daughter. She's always taking care of Bluestone Manor, and her husband died of cancer. We got to hear
Yeah.
her story. She was interesting.
Hmm.
Even like Tinsley, she comes from the money. She comes from that Mercer money. Her
Hmm.
mom was super cool. Tinsley was the original reality TV star. People sleep on that. Like
Hmm.
Tinsley was at like what 18 to 21. She was like at the top of her game, if I'm not mistaken. if I'm not mistaken, like Gossip Girl was based off of her life. If I
Mhm.
remember correctly, she had her own TV show, High Society. They was a mess running around New York City being frenemies. That show was a trip. If you get a chance to watch it, it's good. 90s TV's trash.
Oh my
But
god.
it was good for the time. She was interesting because she when she divorced Topper, everybody damn near fell out because like, what are you
Mhm.
doing? You giving up the Mortimer name and money? You've lost their mind. They really thought she had gone
Mhm.
cuckoo. Then she got arrested, and she's trying to build her way back up into New York society.
Mhm.
So you just take those three. You take away Carol, Ramona, Tinsley, Dorinda. Look how dry this show is.
Mhm. Yep. I wouldn't mind swapping out Luann for Tinsley at this point because with Dorinda gone this season, um, I think it would give Tinsley enough time to establish roots into the friend group without being attacked. You could bring back Dorinda next season and
Hmm.
test out that foundation. Because I did appreciate how those two went at it. I ain't gonna lie, it was much better than how Leah and Ramona go at it.
Hmm. And Ebony Diggs brings up a good point. Ebony not touch a nerve with her education. And I'm gonna propose this question to y'all. And I do want an honest answer, as we always do here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Luann's response to Ebony was like, "How dare this black woman say she's more educated than me," or "How dare this black woman says I have no education"?
But that's not what she said. Luann purposely misunderstood what she said. She said that she's the most educated at the table. She never discredited
Right.
Luann's nursing degree.
But do you think Luann heard that? Do you think Luann would have heard that if Ebony had been a Caucasian woman?
I think Luann is offended that a black woman has education
That's where I was
because
going. Thank you.
she took too much pride in saying, "Well, you are miseducated." Fuck you, Luann. Fuck you. And your stupid little removed countess title. Bitch, I'm so offended by the last 15 minutes of that show because they purposely misunderstood what was said for their own reasons, and I just don't get it. It's almost as if they was trying to set that shit up for when they were at Luann's
Hmm.
house. And why weren't you listening to Sonia? Heather was a piece of shit for not saying nothing. And wait, and when she finally did, she bought in with Ramona and Luann saying, agreeing with them with that. That's what she said. That's not what she said. It's not what she said. Sonia was sitting there that whole entire meal on Ebony's side, stating the truth, not even on anybody's side, but just stating the truth. She did not say that she was smarter than anybody else. She said she had the most education.
Hmm. Ebony says people come out Ebony's activism when she comes ready for a fight, and more so comes ready to tell a white person they have privilege. I'm not mad at that. I was just wondering if Luann was offended because a black woman
Aw,
dare call her out.
thanks,
But I
Dad.
think, but Debbie explained it the way I
Like a
was trying
gutter
to.
snipe.
I was trying to find the words to say it properly, but you said exactly what I wanted to say, and that's just when you piece it together. This is the way the scene came together for me. When you take in account the scene, what Luann said, what Ebony said, Ebony was trying to explain it. You put in what Sonia was saying. No, that's not what Ebony said. This is what she said. When you piece it all together, you know, this is the way it came across to me. Uh, Ebony, when I was talking about wealth, in what context? Because everything was centered around education.
Yeah.
Just so I understand where you're coming from.
Ryan, Countess air as long as possible. Even though she ain't a countess. That's right, DSJ.
But the thing is, yeah, Countess. They need to look. People need to call her out on that Countess thing and just lay her flat to the carpet. Like, look, you're not Countess anymore. You married Tom, and you're not Countess. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's be honest, no one took that shit seriously here in the United States anyway.
True. True.
If we gonna talk about it,
Mhm. Wait, didn't her first husband, the Count, marry a black woman after her?
oh,
Or was that
allegedly
just an affair?
no, allegedly she's African royalty.
Maybe that's
Oh,
why she mad at Ebony.
yes. Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Oh Lord. Oh my God. But whatever. Luann, just do better. Do better. But I officially want Luann swapped out for a Tinsley. Um,
You said you swapped out. Let's
I think she thinks the
see.
wealth has education too. Then she double dumb. Oh my God. If Ebony ain't gonna call you stupid, I'ma call you stupid. You just showed yourself to be really stupid last night.
And Luann, baby Karen, you was wife number 4, so you didn't hold that much importance anyway.
She was wife number 4 to
Yep.
who? To the Count?
Yes.
What whoa. What happened to wife 1 through 3?
Just, let's see. What is
They
Wikipedia?
dead?
Let's
Because how she
see.
got to be countess? Because I thought that as long as you didn't, oh, they must have remarried. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to wish death on anybody.
Well, no, the count. You keep your countess title as long as you don't remarry. But once you
Mm-hmm.
remarry, it's over.
Mm-mm-mm. These are not trying to
Oh,
make up
he was
for.
he was educated. The count was educated in Sudan and in France, and then at Northwestern. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. I
Well,
did
he
not
was
know
born
that.
in France, and France has or had colonies in Africa.
Oh, of course. No, I
Yeah.
just didn't know his education took place there. I just think that's really cool.
Okay. I'm not trying to take up for not Luann, but I think there's a separation. You think there's a separation between wealth and education?
Ebony,
I I think I
Ebony.
can agree
Sorry,
with that.
sorry, not to interrupt, but Ebony, like this is a channel that you can express your opinions. Like
Yeah, don't
you
be
can stick up.
sorry.
No, you can stick up for whoever you want to stick up.
Yeah, just as
We
long
just
as it's done
always,
respectfully.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, this is good
Yeah.
conversation because you'll probably pick up on things we might have missed, and you our subscribers is all of our subscribers can add
Mhm.
context to any conversation. This is why the format of our channel is very important. We want people to have a place they can come speak their opinions respectfully, and then gain context from other people because we all miss
Yep.
things because we're all different
Mhm.
people with different upbringings. So we're
Yeah.
not all going to see things the same way. That's why
Mhm.
we have our channel the way we have it. So yeah,
Yeah.
stick up for who you want to stick up for.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Oh
to
my
see.
God, run the tape back. No truer words were said.
Yeah,
Run the tape back. Run the tape back. She must have thought she was in the courtroom, but
right.
they did do it though. They did the editors did put it in during the show. I
Okay,
will
so
support this
just
no matter what. Oh, thank you.
So according to Google, Luann
Mhm.
Seps is an American television personality. Yada yada. They divorced in 2009, but she retained the courtesy title Countess until her remarriage in 2016. So Luann needs to let it go.
Well, you know she can't, because that's all she has.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, but this is a complex situation. I don't know if the Housewives is the right forum for this, but
Mm-hmm.
okay. But did we think that the integration of the Housewife franchises was going to be easy? I think not.
Yeah, it's.
Mm.
I think where it is. How can I put this? And I've had this discussion with other people. the reason why Garcelle's was easy is because she had 20-year friendships with two of the cast. So that was
Mm-hmm.
going to be seamless. Like she wasn't new to this. Ebony was a friend Leah picked up at the yogurt shop and like, hey, do you want to be on the Housewives? I mean, that's just what it is.
Do I think
You
this
know
is
what I mean?
necessary though? I do think it's necessary. I just feel bad that she doesn't have those friendships that Garcelle had.
Here, let's also call a thing on this one, and we might have to lay the people flat on this one. It's very telling of the women on the show that none of them have friends that are people of color for a substantial amount of time.
We've never seen anybody of color on this show.
No, what I'm saying is
Like
that
none of their friends.
it's right. But it's very telling to
Hmm.
me that no one on the cast has a person of color who's been a friend for a substantial amount of time.
Look at Ramona's birthday parties with her 50 or 60 best girlfriends.
Hmm.
Not was anybody in there of color?
Hmm.
I don't remember,
Hmm.
but oh well. Oh well.
That means that I'm
Oh,
trying to be devil advocate because I do like people coming down on my white friend who does that. Oh, Ebony, my best friend is white, so I totally get where you're coming from. I think what we
uh,
have to also remember is like we have to look at we can't just look at it as them being Caucasian. We have to look at them being Caucasian from a certain class of wealth and where they tend to spend their time. So there's a lot of combinations in that. It's not just only white. So
what
yeah, I
did
totally feel
you
you. I totally feel you on that.
what did you think about the fragility comment that Ebony made?
So would I have made that comment at that point? No, but she was in the heat of the moment and she said what she felt. So I'm not gonna condemn her.
Mm.
So Ebony says it's actually really well. I can see that. I'm not going to disagree with that actually.
So if it's wealth based on what? Ebony's lack of wealth in comparison to theirs? Is that what it is? I'm not sure. Help me with this one, somebody.
I I'm just trying to figure out. I in my mind I kind of get how wealth ties into it. I think if I'm guessing correctly, I think what it is that Luann is tying it into wealth because she doesn't
Mhm.
see Leah as on the same level, but Luann doesn't like talking about money, which is probably why she left that out.
No, Luann thinks that her grandfather wealth is better than anyone. But when you say grandfather wealth, like what she got from her settlement from the count? Or do we know how wealthy Ebony is? Here's the thing. I am very curious about Luann's current financial status because why does she need help going into recovery that Bethany had to set it up and pay for it? Um, I think, and don't forget, Luann's children had filed suit against her or something with regards to money management. I think Luann blew through a lot of her settlement,
So Luann has
and
a net
all
worth.
she has is her properties.
So Luann has a net worth of 25 million. Ebony has a net worth of 3 million.
I How
The
many
reason why
homes does Luann have now?
let's see,
Because I know she offloaded the one in upstate New York.
and I like that house too.
Uh, I think she overpaid for it, but whatever. She's got the one in Sag Harbor, because she bought that when she sold a townhouse in the city, And she's renting in the city now, or is she did she buy that apartment? Because I'm thinking that Ramona is the only one that bought her apartment, right?
Yes. So Ramona sold
Was
the old one to
she
buy the new one.
Ebony, she inherited? I thought that who did she inherit from? Because I thought her parents like had a lot of kids and they weren't well off. You know, that's what I thought Luann's background was. His question is new wealth better than old wealth? I think wealth is wealth as long as you can maintain it. If you blow through it, there's no point in calling it wealth.
So yeah, I don't see anything about inheritance for Luann from her family, because she always said her family was poor.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
her, and if you haven't watched it, watch her show, her little series on Bravo. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Huge question: is new wealth better than old wealth? Ebony, it depends on what school of thought you come from, because you have some of those old families who maintain their money, who turn their noses down
Mm-hmm.
at people with new money. So for me personally, coin is coin,
Mm-hmm.
and Debbie.
And Ablavi, she's all about the old money.
Mm-hmm.
She's all about the old money. Me, if you have coin now, whether you old or new,
Hey
just
Deb,
as
can you drop the
long.
link?
Oh, da 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 da. Yes. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my goodness. All right. So I don't know. As long as you got money, you're good in my books. But look at what old the concept of old money has done to poor Sonia. Mm-mm-mm. And never mind. I'm gonna keep that tidbit to myself. Me too. I love the old money. Aw. So Ebony, you coming up? What else happened on this episode? Why didn't we
Nothing.
really get to see the lamb? I was kind of disappointed, and we've been talking about this curry lamb for God knows how long, and we didn't get to see it that much.
Oh no, let me make sure we didn't see that lamb.
Mm. Hello, Ebony.
Hi. So,
Hey.
hold me 1 second. I gotta get to this computer off. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I'm about old wealth, but I think we have learned from Beverly Hills Housewives that old wealth is more important than new wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Look how long Kyle Richards has been around. That she's from old money, and she means nothing. And then we have like,
Oh, wait, can we really say that? Because I just thought she was from old gold diggers.
no, she's from old money. Her mom, her mother, we've there's been so many stories on her mother been trying to help her I don't know how to say it without being mean, but to help her dig into that wealthiness, the wealthy life.
Right.
So
Oh, Ebony, I got you. I'll help you on this one. So basically, what Ebony is saying, her mom was trying to instill in her daughters how to gold dig properly,
Yeah.
which is
yeah,
which is
and a
what.
lot of people have done
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't take new wealth as new. The new wealth is like we just honestly, because look at the new wealth. Look at Erica Jane, Dorit. This new wealth is like so short lived. But the old wealth, when you don't remarry, when you're like Luann, it honestly it means more to people. And I just read a book. Honestly, I just read a book about how new wealth is. Oh, sorry, old wealth is just so much more. It means much more.
Yeah.
Even the
Mm-hmm.
the TDF. which is the financial diet. They just had released a video. If anyone is interested, she talked about new wealth, old wealth, and she's just saying, stop like and giving inheritance. And anyway, with that being said, just it's the last video she just put up there, the TDF. So with that being said, I just think that new wealth, people with old wealth they just want to keep their old wealth there, which I understand. And it makes more sense, and it gets prejudice with old wealth, because a lot of cultures are not in old wealth realm. That's what I'm just trying to say.
No, and it makes sense because it ties into what they were saying last night. They were dropping those little dog whistles with being not classy, not elegant, very déclassé. And that's how old wealth looks at new wealth. Old wealth considers new wealth vulgar. And remember that old saying?
And I agree 100%. So I was just trying to say, I think, this is Ebony K. Williams. She is a chihuahua when it comes to cultures, especially like Black versus Caucasian culture. She is a chihuahua. She is going for everything she can go for. And I agree with some things she says, but some things I think that it makes it more of a problem than more of like a cohesiveness. And I don't like that, because I do that with my friends when I go out drinking. I say things like, oh, that's because you're white, you can do all that. And my friend caught me. She was like, Ebony, stop saying stuff like that, because I'm not that. I'm not racist like that. I'm not biased. So I think sometimes that our culture, or I honestly do, I think sometimes our culture really does the Black culture separates us. Instead of being cohesive, they really just bring on more of like a division. Although the division is there.
Or is it that they're more plain speaking about it? Like yesterday when Ebony said your white fragility is killing me, but as a counterpoint,
why should you say that? It had nothing to do.
Right.
That's why I think Luann was thinking about her wealthiness and not about her white fragility. I don't think Luann think about color.
But Ramona
I think
was
she was thinking I
doing
had
the
more dollars
same
in my
thing
bank account.
too.
Say it again.
Ramona was doing the same thing too, but just subliminally with that, oh, my ears, my ears.
Yeah. So they're both wrong. I just kind of I don't want the audience to take away, and there's so many audience who's grabbing this from the our Bravo audience. It's not just here. It's going to be from DJ Sky, from All About the Tea, from Sherelle, from Adam, so forth. So I just don't like our audience to grab that we're trying to be divisive, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring up a situation that is there, but not be divisive. What happens is we speak divisive words. And there was a doctor on your show a couple weeks ago who was saying, don't bring up the word, like don't be divisive. And I was and she was talking to Abalabi. And Abalabi was just giving her opinion. And I agree with Abalabi when it comes, anyway, with some things. So, and I agree, we should not be divisive. I don't like our audience have these platforms we have. I don't want us to be divisive on these platforms that we have. Now we're bringing up the decisions, the influence, from Garcelle, Ebony K. Williams. We're hearing about the Black feeling about it. I just don't want us to be divisive. We can talk about it. Let's not be divisive. Just say, okay, this is how I feel. Because there's so many Caucasian friends that we have, like, that come and they're on our side. And I just don't want us to be divisive. Okay, that's all I got. But with that being said, Debbie, when you get like your swag, your Caribbean comes out, it is just too much.
It's too much.
I'm not sure if you're American or Caribbean.
I was born in the Caribbean, but I am a naturalized American. So I got the best of both worlds. I'm a total mutt, and I know that might be offensive to some people.
It gets funny because you'd be like, you get your feelings, you'd be like, wait a minute, you bring out all of it. But I just want your audience to know the platform too, to know here. I know your platform that I know you guys don't agree with divisiveness, and you obviously are. not divisive, but I just hope that comes out.
We don't intend to be divisive, but
No, not
I
you,
think,
but New York Housewives as well as Beverly Hills.
well, that's why I'm
I don't want it to be
intrigued,
that way. I don't want
because
it to be that way.
but do I think that the Bravo producers, production company, network, or whatever is qualified to handle such a hot topic, especially in
They
this
have
day and
to.
age?
They
They
have
have
to be.
to,
Yeah.
but I don't have confidence that they're going to handle it correctly.
There
I
was no
don't.
correctness with them because they were very messy when it comes to Jen Shaw and her money. Teresa, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know. They're not prepared for this situation. They're not prepared for these answers and
Mm-hmm.
questions. It's great to have Ebony K. Williams, who has been prepared, but it's also not good because she's so prepared that she seems like a militant. And that's not a lot of us who sit in the audience. We're just easygoing. We're trying to have a good
Mm-hmm.
drama. We're not trying to be like, take down the. We're just trying to have a good drama going on here. And that's why I sometimes feel like Ebony K. Williams comes off as very militant. I like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of her messages she brings out. It just doesn't come off as very nice. It comes off as very one way, and that's not nice.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna, like, I saw a bit of her IG where she said she was taking a step back for a couple of weeks. And she did say, watch this week and next week's episode. So I'm hoping that this is diffused next week, and I'm hoping that all parties have their ears open and use some empathy. Use some empathy towards each other, to listen, because a key thing from last night, Heather hit it on the head. I don't like agreeing with Heather because she lost me from that original holla, but she did say something very accurate last night. Nobody's listening.
I also want to say this. If it doesn't sound inclusive, I want people to bring out, hey, we don't sound like we're getting along.
Mm-hmm.
We don't sound like we're getting along. It doesn't sound like
Mm.
Ebony K. Williams, you're trying like to get along with us. It sounds like you're trying to keep us divided. And I know that there are some ignorant people out there trying to keep us divided, but there are many platforms that want to keep us uh, inclusive. And I want to
Mm-hmm.
bring out this platform here, and I know she's a big platform, and we can just get overwhelmed with it or whatever it is. But Oprah Winfrey is a big platform. She continues to try to keep us all, as much as she can, together on the same level. Like, even
Mm-hmm.
like, just think about those type of people. They're not trying to be like, okay, this is black versus white. And there are some issues. Look, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I just want to, please, let's just work on be inclusive, because we're all
Mm-hmm.
black and white watching New York Housewife. I mean, sorry, RHONY, and this we're watching Teresa go down. We're watching Teresa come up. We're watching Potomac. There's all these different cultures are watching these um Bravo. So I just want us to be inclusive. That's my whole thing. I just don't want us to be like, oh, she's bringing up a point and they don't get it. They don't get it. It's like, no, a lot of them do get it.
But
But
do they want to acknowledge it or hear it? That
they don't
might
want
be the thing.
Yeah, but would you want to be called the hard R word, the with a T at the end? You don't want to be called that word, the hard R with
Oh.
a T. No one wants to be that. That's what it
Um,
sounds like she's trying to do.
I'm gonna hold judgment until I see next week.
Okay, then we got that.
I'm just because she said that,
Sounds
she
fair.
said that with both, because we haven't seen everything. And then again, this is something that I've been bringing up on all of the franchises. The editing is so deceptive.
That's the thing.
The editing is so deceptive. So I can't fully believe anything that's happened, and I am left wondering what was left on the cutting room floor.
So I'll jump in real quick. So
Mm-hmm.
this is part of our channel. What we do is we go by what we see on the screen, but we are savvy enough to give our opinion about what we see, but then reserve some judgment because we know what Bravo does and what these TV shows do. So I think this is where we, as the viewer who's been watching these shows for a long time, we kind of know what goes on. So yes, give your opinion for what you see, but be mindful of what's left on the cutting room floor. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So yeah,
If that makes sense.
no, to me, yeah. I just want, I just want the panel. I don't know. I don't really want to like make any judgment against Caucasian people because
But
they're not so
I
quick
don't
to
think.
say yes. I get you, sister. I don't know.
No, I don't think that we're like, I don't think
I
they're
feel bad
making
for my
like
everybody.
general statements against a whole race.
Yeah,
They would be dead wrong for doing that.
that's
Yep.
what I felt like was happening. Yeah. So anyway,
Yep.
maybe
Yeah.
I can be the only person. If not, that's.
No, but
But what you
again,
see
it's
next
it's
week,
how you
next
took in
week.
the scene.
Yeah.
It's how you took in the scene. And
Mhm.
it's good to hear how what your viewpoint and your perspective is from how you saw it. You know, I went back and I watched it like a million times, and I think that might have made it worse for me, because it got me angrier and angrier. But you know, your like your upbringing, your environment, where you live now, where you used to live, like your parents, your brothers, your sisters, if you have any aunties, uncles, they all create how you perceive things. And the same thing for me. And our we don't have the same shared experience. Even me and my brother, we don't have the same shared experience. And so like when I talk to my brother about things, we could be on two totally different wavelengths, but I still appreciate what he says, just like how I appreciate what you say, because you might see something totally different from how I do, which that could then help me understand another party better, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And I have my
Yeah.
adversary in here. Abu just walked in. So. No, I feel
Oh my
adversary.
God.
I enjoy Abu in her comments. I probably agree with like 8% of it. Just kidding.
No, listen,
But that being said, no,
like,
I'm 100% joking. This is what I love. The platform, I love everything here. I just came on real quick. I'm a commentary, and I come on real quick. Just quick wording. Anyway,
well, thank you, Ebony. We appreciate you.
All right, have a great
Thank
one.
you. All
Bye,
right,
Ebony.
dear.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Hey, Ablavi. Look, I appreciate, when people like, because it's not easy. I remember the first time I did it. It's not easy, especially if you are not accustomed to YouTube. But just letting y'all know, this is a safe space. You could come up and chat with us and share your opinions. We all know that y'all are nice and polite and respectful to all of our little community here. So we appreciate you anytime anybody joins us for a little chitty chat. Exactly. Look at how I find it. We need conversation, but not manipulative cuttings. Ooh, Susan, you have a point. You have a point, because Bravo in the end is trying to protect their own money-making engine. It's just call a thing a thing, Do they care about how we think about these franchises? Yes, to a degree, as long as it doesn't stop us from watching. Hello, Miss Ablavi.
Y'all was going at it. I haven't even seen the episode yet.
No,
I mean, it was
weren't.
it's just like, I think his, and I'm gonna be honest. If you're doing real commentary and you are being honest with your opinions and you sit in it, there should be some back and forth with every conversation. I can't take conversations seriously when everyone agrees on every point, because it means you're not being truthful. Because if you're all three different people with three different upbringings, you should have three different thought processes. You may have similar opinions, but they should be different.
So what I got from what y'all were saying is Ramona says something disrespectful. All I remember watching was them draw penises.
Blobby.
But that's what I saw.
It was after that. It was like the last 10-15 minutes or so.
And Ramona was getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
She had that nasty Pinot Grigio in her hand and was talking about, oh, I'm tired. Once you part from one section, you can draw. And then was just sitting there. And then I saw Heather come in. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
that's a
Yeah.
mess. Heather,
Four
Heather, Heather, Heather. Okay.
seasons.
I mean, we. Here's my thing. If you want to recycle housewives, recycle the good ones. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, or import some old housewives. Do some.
Why
Don't
did
give me
Heather leave again?
Heather.
Oh,
Well, allegedly,
the
according to
show
the
because
statement she made. Oh, go
she.
ahead. Go ahead.
But why did she quit it? Did she quit it because the new one is becoming Jewish and she doesn't respect it?
No, so Heather originally, according to what I've read and heard, Heather quit the show because her son was going through some
The
very
surgery,
serious
the ear.
surgeries with
Yeah.
his ears, so she needed to be there like more to support him.
But they just didn't renew her contract. Let's call a thing a thing.
Well,
No, I
hey.
mean that's why she left this time because she's upset with the new one. What's her name? Leah.
Oh no, Leah called her. No, she don't like Leah, and well, Leah doesn't like Heather because she thinks Heather's a two-faced snake. Because how are you going to talk shit on your podcast about your so-called friends and then come and kiki with them at the Hamptons home?
Interesting. You know what we got to talk about? Why hasn't Jill Zarin gotten a pop through all this time? Is it really
Oh
because of Bethany?
no, it's because of Andy Cohen. Andy can't stand Jill
Ooh,
because of years ago, allegedly, um, she recorded a private conversation between herself and Andy Cohen, and I think she put it out there. I have to do more research on that one, but that's the story that's told, which is why she gets no love from Bravo.
And she begs every few months to come back on.
Hmm.
She did it a couple weeks ago on Watch What Happens Live, I think. Yeah.
Jill would have been better on Jersey. I always thought she gave me a Jersey vibe because the New York woman, it should be called the thrift shop, the thrifters of New York. Nobody owns, nobody actually has money. Bravo's paying for everybody's apartment, you know?
I mean, Ablavi, let's talk about it because I said Debbie at the beginning of this live. I'm not really into this season because this Leah, I don't particularly care for. Ramona, we know already. Luann, we already know. Betty, Sonia, we already know about you already. But I still love Sonia. I mean, there's only so many seasons of wholeness that we can take. I mean, you should not be 60 and hoeing. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. I don't care anymore. It's not cute.
Ooh,
And then we have Ebony. So there's no cast. They have nothing going on and we're starving for content. And Ablavi, I'm not sure if you were in the chat when I said this, and I want your thoughts. Is it really sad that we are lacking content for the show because the ladies' lives are lacking content?
yeah, but it would have been a worse show if they did it in New York. I think the issue with the show is, and this was the problem with Atlanta at one point, I don't like watching Housewives and everybody's not married.
Mm.
Mm.
Like I've known, and this show for a while has had everybody not being married. Like
Hmm.
personally speaking, I was enjoying Countess when her husband was cheating over on her. What was it? An Ethiopian princess? What was it?
It was one of those. It was yeah, 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 yeah. She was
But for
African
a
royalty,
while there,
definitely.
when she first started, they were in an open relationship. Like they would bring in others into their bedroom. That
Listen,
first season.
Luann was always liked her liquor, but you know why I didn't like her? When she was sitting here pretending like she was a countess and we couldn't look that up on Google. She used to get me just infuriated with that. That man he's no royal nothing. He been scamming and scheming like everybody else and got a few coins.
Mm-mm. Well, then they got her back by bringing a princess in, which she hated.
Oh, she hated that. She could. That just Carol used to work her nerve every turn she could.
Didn't Carol tell her that she should be curtsying to her?
I'm about to be very rude. but I have to say it. I didn't understand why people thought Carol was beautiful.
I didn't.
But no, because remember because this was me. This is the first time I actually looked at Carol. I remember I was cooking in my kitchen and I was cooking some nice apple pie. And Ramona said, that's why George Clooney did her for a year. And I turned around and was shocked what I saw. Almost took my head off.
So Bobby, Luann was a countess because her husband he actually is a count. So she was a countess. I mean, not on her own, but she's a
Okay,
countess.
but we went through that because the French people were saying he wasn't a count. The French people say you can't be buying. It's not like in England where you can buy
Ooh.
lordships.
Bobby, are you trying to say the world be buying titles? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they be buying titles. All of a sudden, everybody been broke for years. Now everybody's a lord and lady.
Oh my goodness.
People in my neighborhood used to do that too. I had a girl named her last name was Arthur, and her mother named her Lady Arthur. The same thing in my neighborhood too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait. Okay, so this is a little background on the Count. He's a descendant of Ferdinand de Lesseps, the famous French diplomat and entrepreneur who built the Suez Canal and started the Panama Canal. Luann was his fourth wife. Damn.
Number 4.
So wait, how many kids do he have? Just the 2 from
I
Luann?
was looking for that. I can't find
Let
nothing
me tell
mentioning
you
other kids.
something. When you sit here and edit your Wikipedia page so everything makes sense, because you're not gonna get me to believe a 2-year-old man only got 2 children.
Not with like 5 wives, and it doesn't even mention the last wife, who's now the Countess. How is that possible?
Again, making up titles because it sounds good on television. But no, the person who I thought was interesting, the most interesting was Alex. Because me and my petty self. I went to her neighborhood, saw where her house was. I didn't really understand how they were on the show because they didn't have money like that.
Oh, I can tell you, Bobby. It's because every franchise needs social climbers, and that was their job.
And then I used to love her sexually fluid husband, who would always dress her up like a rag doll.
But didn't she do naked pictures or something? Wasn't that why Ramona got upset and did her first walk off because Alex did like these artsy nudes at one time?
She was naked, spread eagle in the Plaza Hotel, according to Jill Zarin, if I remember from that reunion correctly.
Okay, how I described it sounded a lot better.
Your husband's hotel.
And let's make sure he was just the GM. He didn't own it.
He didn't own it. No.
Well, yeah, remember that? Remember her? They moved to you know what I used to can't stand about her? It's when I really started noticing children on television because they was always wild acting. What was their name? Francois and something else.
Oh, Sebastian. Johan.
Yeah.
Johan and Francois.
Oh
God, they just used to be on the television just acting up. And remember they went to Jill Zarin's furniture company. No, Bobby's
the fabric store.
And they made that ugly looking apartment. Oh. With the red and black. Oh, and then remember when she wore the potato sack on Fashion Week? It was just like, oh.
Well, wait. Well, during Fashion Week, she doesn't have didn't they give her those clothes to wear?
Yeah, that's how they do it because that's when you go to the designer,
right?
They give you clothes.
Then that's not her fault that they gave her the ugly sack.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. But the thing about Luann, since we're talking about felons, why isn't her felony storyline coming into fruition?
Who?
Luann's.
Didn't we do that already?
Well, her children are suing her for spending their inheritance.
Yeah. See, so I'm not like you heard that too, right? This is
No,
when
but
Yeah.
I
she
thought
was going into
I,
rehab.
I thought they settled that case though.
No.
It's still open.
Yeah.
Maybe
Hold
that's why
on.
she had to sell the house in upstate because that was
Right.
she made some art purchases and that house and Victoria and Noel did not like it. And she was also in and out of rehab at that time. Ooh, let's see if we can find that. Okay, thank
Okay.
you,
So,
Oblavi, for
Lu-
remembering that.
according to People, on April 25th of 2019, Luann says confirms lawsuit filed against her by her kid has been dropped. Let's see what happened. Sorry, everyone. Just a little quick research. Also purchase home mistakes. It sounds like she sold a house to put that money back. That's what it comes across as.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Luann used to get on my nerves. I remember watching her like before I was on Bravo, and how she told us that, she used to work in, what was it, Italy? She was
Mm-hmm.
like
Yes.
a hostess,
She was,
and
yeah. She was a TV presenter or something like that, but
Mm-hmm.
she was also dating the guy on the show, the host, wasn't she? Because that's how she
yeah.
learned Italian by injection.
Well, I mean, she learned Italian both ways. The Catholic Church is
Mm.
there, and that's not what she was doing to learn it. But anyways,
Oof. You know her husband was suing her with the children?
yeah,
Yes.
That's messed
because it's
up.
it's part of their divorce agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why that was never a storyline, because she doesn't have that kind of money. I wonder if they garners her wages from Real Housewives of New York.
I wonder
I
how much she
thought
makes.
I thought that they brought it up on. I understand what you're saying because I think it was brought up on one of the reunions, and she kind of
Hmm.
dodged that. She was kind of putting that to the side a little bit, like, oh, like, it's a family matter, and we're working it out. We see you. It's okay, Lou. You spent that money and thought, well, nobody gonna know. You thought you was gonna spend that money, and then since it's in a trust for your kids, you thought they were gonna ask her, like they didn't know about it. Okay.
Because remember, she got so broke, she had to sell the penthouse in New York and had to get rid of the nanny. And then she had to move to the Hamptons house. And then she had to date Tom in order to get back to New York.
Wait, what penthouse? I thought she had a townhouse with the count.
I'm sorry, townhouse. Sorry. Yeah, she had a
Yeah.
townhouse. She had a townhouse with the Count, and then she got too broke. But even, let's talk about even Jill. Jill was interesting because Jill to me was the most New York. She was the most, when you think of working class New York, and that just, married a little money. I'm
Mm-hmm.
surprised they haven't had somebody Jewish on that show since then.
They did. The Japanese girl?
And
Yeah,
they
but
Girl
she
that was
didn't last.
biracial?
It
Yeah,
was
she
it
was
was a
there.
bad time for her to be on the show due to
Yeah.
the nature of her situation. I felt bad because she was interesting as well.
did you hear about her and her husband? My God, they were so scandalous in that South Beach.
Wait, what? I thought they got divorced.
Oh, honey, husband don't got no money, and sis don't got no work, don't got no She has been out the workforce for 10 years, so she don't have no way to make money. And they was fighting and tearing it up down there in Florida.
I didn't mean to laugh about that, but
No,
Giving you a
okay.
he
very Tinsley vibe. When is Tinsley coming back? Because that man she with left her.
I was telling Jamal earlier that I would swap out Luann for Tinsley.
You know, Tinsley, I'm sorry to say this, I thought she would give more.
I think everyone did.
I think without Dorinda being there to check her every move, she might.
But the real thing about Tinsley, what's interesting is her family, because
Hmm.
they're very rich, and I'm sure she left because they used to have people work for them, and not pay them. We're not going to go in that history. But
Oops.
are we telling a lie?
Oh my
No,
God.
because that was the problem with Southern Charm. Southern
Hmm.
Charm wanted to pretend like everybody wasn't plantation owners. Everybody doesn't come from a plantation owner family, and that's what got them bit.
Well, Craig didn't. He's
But
from
I
Delaware or
mean,
something.
Craig doesn't count. Craig lied about being a lawyer. Craig was sitting here telling everybody he was a lawyer, and then come to find out he wasn't. But everybody else, they come from that. So I think that's why she didn't come for the next season. I don't think she wanted to be held to the fire because of that.
Oh.
Mm.
Because you know how like they did it with that woman, that girl from The Office, the plain looking one.
The girl from The Office?
Office.
Yeah, the girl from The Office. She did one of those debutante balls in St. Louis, and now they got her all in the news for being a low key. They say the R word, but I don't think not. Kimmy something. I think she's on Kimmy Unbreakable. She's the redheaded one from The Office.
Hmm. So I wouldn't
I
watch
didn't
The
know
Office like
that.
that.
No, but I've seen her. She's kind of like Zoe Deschanel. Like they have that quirky thing about them. But anyways, that girl,
Uh,
she did this debut.
Oh,
Yeah, she did
I
this.
can't. Oh,
Yeah,
like now with the red hair. You said red hair, right?
yeah,
I'm trying to think. I don't know her name, but I can picture her in my mind.
yeah. She when she was younger, because her family's from the slave money. I'm sorry, people, but we got to keep it real. And they found out she did an old, KKK, not the Kardashians, and they did like one of their old debutante balls, and now they got her plastered all over the news because of that. And I told people,
mm.
this is why Tinsley left. Tinsley didn't leave because that man didn't care that she was doing that show. She wasn't doing anything really that outrageous. Tinsley has been on the newspaper for beating up her ex-boyfriend, and he was with her.
True. But Bobby, I want to shift gears real quick. Back to our core topic of this live. Do you think that Ebony had a nerve education, or why do you, or better yet, why did you think Luann reacted the way she did?
Because Luann is the only person on that on that cast that's probably as not as well educated. I don't know if she has a master's or undergrad, but Luann sees herself as the educated one of the group.
Mm.
But is she confusing education with cultured?
Or
Because
wealth?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's wealth. Like she's had a lot more varied life experiences because she's lived in a lot of countries. She's
Mm-hmm.
learned languages. We're not saying that she's stupid,
Mm-mm.
but she's a bit older and had a bit more life experience. She's been divorced twice. She's had entree to society, European society, and American society. Like she's seen and done things. Is she cultured? Barely.
No.
um is she
No.
wealthy?
Blobby.
Barely.
No.
No, she's
Is
not
she
because
educated? She has an education and a
because she
qualification.
she's one of those people that thinks because you go around and vacation with other wealthy people, you're cultured. Listen, and this is no shade to Luann. I think what really bothers Luann about Ebony is she had to get on her hands and knees to get where she needed to get in that lifestyle. And she's just a little bit upset that it was taken away from her because remember, she could still have the animosity from the Ethiopian princess.
Debbie brought that up.
I
Debbie
was
brought
just
that
being
up.
petty. I was being petty.
But you never know because remember that like he left her and took everything. And remember before the Ethiopian princess, she was on the Upper East Side. She had a townhouse. She was living
Mhm.
the life. She had the nanny.
Mhm.
She had the maid. She was on the front rows. She was living the life. And then the Ethiopian
Mm-hmm.
princess took it over. And then we have Ebony, cute girl, fun, dating these rich men that Luann wants to date, out here drinking, looking hot. She just having the flashbacks to the Ethiopian princess.
It could
Because you know they
be. It
share
could
men.
be.
They share men on this
Ugh.
show. They all sleep with the same men.
Tom and Harry Dubin. Oof.
Hmm.
Bleh.
Hmm. Those are the only
I
two we
I
know of.
that they admit to, yeah.
Hmm.
I think they passed around the pirate as well, but that's just in my opinion. But yeah, I felt that there is some animosity towards Ebony from Luann be- because she lost Alex to another black woman. Um, Also, I think with old money, they look at people with new money as vulgar because new money had to work for it, and old money typically inherits. They don't have to work. They just build upon it. Um I-
Who would be the old money here? Not Luann from Connecticut.
no, that's no, not
Luann
Luann,
from
not Ramona.
Connecticut,
The only old money that
baby
was
old.
on this show was Carol.
No,
And
she
by
Mm,
wasn't.
association.
No, it
no.
would be
No, by
no,
association.
no,
Because
no.
Tinsley was. Oh no, Tinsley's money's older.
oh yeah. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting Tinsley. Tinsley's the best old money. And Carol
Yeah.
would have been a close second.
No. That's not how this works. No. We're not going to do that.
I just want to throw Carol in there because it aggravates Luann.
No. Carol wasn't old money. Carol now benefited from old money, and she elevated herself in a way Luann never could, but she's not old money. Old
By
money,
marriage.
that's not how it works. You got to be born into
Debbie,
it.
you gotta be old. I have. I'm going to go with the Blobby on this
So
one because when you say
so
old
that's the
money,
qualification. You have to be born into
you
it.
have to be born. Because what happens is, so here's what happens. So when you are born into old money, you are old money. But when you marry old money, they still don't accept you.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. All right. Well then Tinsley. Boo.
Tinsley, and then Tinsley, it's levels to this. You know what a good example of old money would be?
Rothschild.
Yes, Nikki Hilton, Paris Hilton's
Yeah,
sister.
that marriage was the
That
perfect modern day
hmm
blending of families. And the sad thing is that the Rothschilds will consider the Hiltons new money.
they are new money. They're only what, four
Hmm.
generations?
Yeah, yeah,
Craig,
and they
not
had to
Craig.
work for it.
What's that guy's name on Southern Charm? He's old money too. Shep. That's old money.
Yeah. Oh, that's old
Jet,
money.
yeah, and the one that's always in trouble,
Yeah,
the older guy,
Thomas. That's old
Thomas.
money.
Hmm.
Would Catherine be old money? Because I don't think they have money, but
Yes. They
really?
lost money. They've lost
Okay.
their money, but they used to have money. But
Hmm.
I think where Catherine falls in the line, like her mother, I think her mother, they
It's both
lost
sides
money
though.
around the mother and father's generation.
But this is the thing with Catherine. I don't understand how you're from old money and having a baby mother to a senior citizen. I just didn't
Well,
get that.
well.
I
Mm,
would think she's more like old family name. I think that's how she got her entry into everything based on her family's names.
both names too. That's
Yeah,
what.
both names.
Both
The
names.
Dennis and the
Calhoun.
Calhouns. Yeah.
Both. That's why Catherine was seen as like a great catch because when Thomas went to his family, it's like, yeah, I'm dating a younger girl. Her name is Catherine Calhoun Dennis, and the lady who was talking, about, she's like, oh, that's a very good thing. Like two
Mhm.
prominent names in the old South, and to paraphrase, she was like, yes, come
Mhm.
through Calhoun Dennis.
But
So
she
yeah,
just,
hers is.
but to me, I think why I wouldn't consider old money is because it's not the proper raising, you know? I just
Mm.
don't understand where they went wrong, you know?
Well, it's weird because you met Catherine's grandmother and mom. Like they were like from the old South where they married older, and
Mm,
I mean, but I don't think they would have stood to be a baby mama though, because it wasn't done back in the day. Nowadays, it's like your baby mama, cool, whatever.
but not with old money. You know, they're just standards there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on this one because she shouldn't have got pregnant by him until she got the ring and the marriage. That's just
Because
my personal opinion.
technically, you know how old money is. If you're not married,
Hmm.
technically, sometimes the kids won't be inherited in it because they wouldn't have
Right.
been the proper heirs.
Let's call a thing. They would have been the bastard children.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's what I've been called. So yeah.
but that's the thing about New York, and what they don't hit on. New York has a lot of old money. And I wish they would pick more people with old money because there are a lot of people here who are obsessed with the celebrity.
Bobby, do you think where they're going wrong? I agree with you here, but do you think they're going wrong by not going with old money or old money adjacent to where maybe the old money really doesn't want to be on camera, but the adjacent will be on camera, but they can bring in the old money as a friend? Do you think that that's another issue or the main issue?
No, you know what I think they should do if they can get this person? So the Fox owner, Murdoch, he has
Hmm.
a daughter. And honey, this woman is scandalous.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
is that the one who it was like some family drama and they kicked her out, or she kicked somebody out the company? Is that
yeah,
her?
yeah.
Okay. Now which one?
And
Now which one was it? Did she get
she kicked
booted
out her
out?
youngest brother, I think.
She kicked out her youngest brother.
And
Was
then
it Elizabeth,
remember,
Grace, or Chloe
no, no,
or
no, older
Prudence?
one, older one. Grace and Chloe is from the second wife, the
So
stupid one.
Elizabeth or Prudence?
Which one is was married to the black guy?
Hold on. Elizabeth looked like she like a little swirl. Um, Keith Tyson. That sounds like a black name.
No,
She
he's
was
not.
married.
He's like from Africa, so it should be an African last name.
Matthew Freud. Elkin Paynim. Was she
I
married
think
in
so.
the 90s to him?
Yeah.
Hold on. That's the one that's in the 90s. Let me open up the hyperlink.
I'm about to lose y'all
Oh,
because
he white.
My AirPods are going to go out, so I'm going to drop. But keep going. Finish
Okay.
it out for
Okay.
me. All right, guys.
All
Bye.
right.
No,
Bye.
no. Robert Mudoff had a daughter. Robert.
He has 4 daughters.
I know, but he has the one. This one is scandalous. She's been married a few times. It's always cheats on her husband.
Okay,
Elizabeth.
so she's so it's Elizabeth. Yeah, because she's been married like 3 times.
Mm-hmm. And she cheats on all her husbands.
Oh, I like
And
her.
yeah, has a ton of money, shrewd businesswoman. Now you can have her and her father's ex-wife because I'm certain she was the one that screwed her sisters.
Wait, the last ex-wife? The young
Yeah,
one?
yeah, Wendy Day.
Oh. But I'm sure they have non-disclosure
Well,
agreements.
you know Wendy Day slept with Tony Blair, and that's why she got a divorce from Murdoch, right?
What? He cheated on Sherry?
Yeah. And then they say she also slept with Vladimir Putin, so she's a good garden tool to use.
Oh my God.
Because Wendy Day
Nuh-uh.
likes attention.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, these would be interesting. Like, I just think we need more interesting people who have things going on in their life. I'm cutting them some slack because this was filmed during 2020 when things were not running normally. I get it. But I think we need to revitalize this cast. One new cast member is not going to make the difference when you have a bunch of people who are not interesting anymore. We've learned all that we can learn from the old crew. I think we should recycle.
Well,
Just saying that.
I think that the Ladies of London, while I did enjoy that show, they made this mistake
Mhm.
too. Like when they put the old money with the new money, you know?
Oh. You mean the gal that was the muse for Alexander McQueen and
Yeah.
Carolyn Stansberry,
Mhm.
them two against the girl that married the Earl of Sandwich and
Yeah.
Juliet.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of, yeah, it was a class war because those were the English aristocrats, and then you had the the American come-ups.
Now you could do American, but you had to do somebody a bit more refined. You know, you had to do somebody,
Annabelle. Hmm.
yeah, a bit more. You know, even I don't know. I think too they need a more diverse crew. I would get rid of everybody except for Ebony. I know y'all like Sonia, but she's irrelevant unless she was married to J.P. Morgan and Chase. I don't care.
I'd like her for comedic relief, though.
I would like her more with the J.P. Morgan Chase. I wonder how you can be broke and you see your bank all around the world. Like I wouldn't, like how dare I not have no money in the world and my baby daddy owns Chase?
Well,
You know what is that? He owns Chase and I'm sitting here struggling.
well, yeah, but those are bygone days, and I
Listen,
love it that she can't get past that. I don't I love that she lives in the past of her old life and the grandeur of it all. Um, I don't know. There's something about Sonia that's very enchanting to me.
I would have liked her more if she was on when she was with her husband and cheating on him,
Hmm.
and so we could have seen that.
Oh my God, a blobby.
Oh, you know who else they should have? What's that guy's name?
Hmm.
Johnny something. He's on Today's Show. He's a lawyer. He's like a
Donnie
uh
Deutsch.
yes.
He's
He
a man
cheats.
whore. I like him.
Yes. Is
Hmm.
he he slept with a lot of people, like a lot of upper crust women.
His
But
last dalliance was like Christy Brinkley, right?
mhm.
Oof. Yeah, he thinks he's a little player, but I think I really like if people think that Ebony is harsh, the way how she talks to people, Donnie Deutsch, he's harsh. I don't think these ladies could I would like to see him be the new Harry and sleep with all these women, but I don't think any of these women would appeal to him.
No, he likes rich women.
Yeah.
He likes like even though I know they loved Bethany, I thought
Hmm.
Bethany should have left the first time and never came back.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Because she went on to do so much more, bigger, better things. I'm not sure why she came back. Maybe it was for nostalgia. Maybe she thought she was going to be the big fish in the pond. I don't know. But
Here's
she
the thing.
hasn't closed out the option to come back. She just told Andy he has to back that Brinks truck up.
Listen, this is the issue with Bethany, and I know people are gonna
Hmm.
hate me for this. Bethany was good television when she was broke and was trying to make her boyfriend love her. Now,
You remember those scenes in the
yeah,
apartment when they were sitting at the little cafe table
yeah,
eating
that's New
dinner?
York. Yep, that's New York. I said, look at her, broke like us. Yeah,
I remember that. Those were some good days. Oh, she really
but
did like that guy, but he left her. Oh,
and remember her mother. Now, if they could have gotten her mother on the show, oh,
her
that would have
mother
been excellent.
passed, right? Or was it the father?
No, it's the mother. Remember, the mother
The
said
mother
that she
passed.
was ungrateful and that she would
Mm-hmm.
never be anything, and she
Yep.
didn't love what's that name? Her ex husband.
The one that raised Bethany or her dad? Like, because I think the guy who raised her was the guy from the track who did the horses.
Hmm.
That was her stepfather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Her mother saying that to her, whether she chooses to realize this or not, I think was what gave her the drive to prove her mother wrong.
Hmm. But somebody told me that Bryn is 10 now.
She's 10 already?
Mm-hmm.
You lie.
No, they say Bryn is 10 now.
You know I gotta look this up.
Because Bryn, she should have she was delusional about that guy. I wonder, are they
She's
divorced yet?
11. She's
Yeah.
11. Oh my God. Oh, that little girl grew up fast. I think they are finally divorced, and the settlement is final.
How much did she pay?
Child, more than he was worth.
I think she paid
Because
like
they were
10,000, right? I mean 10 million, right?
probably because she had multiple lawyers. Their divorce lasted longer than their marriage.
Jesus,
Let's
she
just call
just
a thing
signed
a
the
thing.
divorce. Because remember, their divorce was nasty.
Yes, because like there was like a lot of false claims on unfitness for parenting, custody issues, settlement issues, because he wanted ownership of her stuff. Like, yeah, oof. I cannot imagine how such a guy that we all thought was so great turned out the way he did. Mm,
Well,
yeah.
but then too, Bethany reportedly did warning Kenya Moore fans, warning the Kenya Moore before Kenya Moore did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she sat here and bought a cute looking man, bought her own ring. For what?
Well, it was a goal. She achieved it. Didn't she always want to be married and have a child?
But they kept making it seem like Bethany wasn't married before, and she was. Like, I didn't understand. Like, they made her to be Carrie Bradshaw when she wasn't. She was a well-to-do girl whose parents squandered their money. She really
Mhm.
didn't have. She was really struggling in New York her first season. She was
Mhm.
super thin. I remember that about Bethany. Super thin. And she and Jill had the thing because Jill liked Bethany being below her. It is what it is.
Mhm. Mhm.
But before we go, we got to talk about something
Mhm.
because this is why I called in. Because you from the Caribbean.
Oh
It's got to
God.
be a little messy. Did you
Mhm.
hear about that case in Belize?
The hotel, the lady who killed the lieutenant of
Mm-hmm.
police,
Mm-hmm.
they found her on a pier with blood stains all over her, and he was at the hotel all shot up. But while they was opening a hotel, I saw it because I wanted to find out if I get a job there. But then I read all of this and I was just like, wait, what the hell is going on? And it's during the grand opening. It's so weird. But they remanded her and charged her. Oh boy.
Listen, there has never been a case that I'm sitting there and saying, what is going on and why is nobody telling the truth?
But the boyfriend introduced her to the policeman.
That's her husband.
Oh, the husband. Okay, I couldn't tell whether it was a husband or a boyfriend. But he introduced her to the policeman, and the first thing that went through my head was what y'all was doing. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I heard the story. I read about it briefly, but honestly, I was only thinking about getting a job there.
No, but it was listen, it was the craziest story because nobody's telling you anything. So we got to put a little bit more. The woman, her husband's father is worth 2.3 billion dollars. He's a wealthy British, yeah, a wealthy
Mhm.
British businessman. She's a socialite from Canada. They just opened this
Mhm.
hotel.
Mhm.
She was giving him a massage. This is what she said happened. She was giving
What?
him a massage. He asked her to give him his gun, and when she went to give him his gun, it accidentally went off, and she shot him. That's what she's saying.
But he had multiple gunshot wounds.
Hello.
Huh? And why was she giving him a massage?
That's what they said. That's how they found her. Because they said she well, they said she was on the deck, but they said that when they went to see her, they said that people at the bar saying she was giving him a massage. They don't tell you where her husband was.
How do people at the bar know she was giving him a massage? What in freaky deeks is going on there? Yes, Yanni, ask a professional next time and maybe you won't get shot. What? And who
Yeah,
wants their gun during a massage?
he asked her for his gun and she shot him. And then she's been put into jail. She's real like debutante. And she's
Mhm.
complaining and crying in jail because it's a filthy conditions, honey. I
Hello,
cannot.
you don't want to go to go to jail overseas. You just don't. Like America's jails are luxurious in comparison.
But it's so weird how the public has been so quiet because this has happened a few days ago.
Yeah, because I read it a few days ago.
But it's just hitting the new the news feed, and everybody's being so hush hush. Like her husband still has not made uh, a statement.
Well, maybe because like the husband's family is British and she's from Canada, so American news doesn't think that it's like newsworthy, especially if it doesn't happen here
Hmm.
or if it isn't COVID related or
Okay,
something.
well, no, no, this is another thing. So her father-in-law is one of the biggest donors of the Tory government and is a personal friend of Boris Johnson. So this should be interesting.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Isn't this so ghetto and ratchet? It is.
It's unexpected from people of this ilk. I'll just
Yeah.
say that. Because what I was reading about it, it just like didn't make sense. Like, what are you doing with a police like he's a lieutenant or something like
Hmm.
that, right?
Yeah. I don't know what all these like when I'm guessing that's high up in the police. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, you're not like a rookie beat cop or anything like that. You have bars on your epaulets,
Hmm.
but you're not like a police chief or anything like that.
Well, this is the thing. They say she could get 5 years or a $10,000 fine. Also, yeah. Also, he has 5 kids with his partner.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof. The New York Post picked it up 2 days ago.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, poor girl. Poor girl.
Isn't this interesting? Now, this is no. Let me. Oh, and another thing before we go. I was, minding my business, being nosy, and I saw that Crystal went on Entertainment Tonight saying that she has warrants in Arizona. I didn't even bother to look at the story.
I saw something about that too, but I did not click on it because I thought it was stupid. If
But
you
we'll
have
see.
warrants, what are you doing coming on this show, Jen Shaw? I don't
Oh,
know.
well, they say Jen Shaw is trying to make that money too. She out here scamming on the GoFundMe. That's what they say.
They shut it down, thank God. But she didn't get no money. All she got was like $255.
Aw,
Two people contributed.
well, that's two more. I don't understand why she's not in jail right now.
Didn't she post bail?
I thought she didn't. I thought they was waiting for her to post bail.
Yeah, I think she posted bail and
How
probably
did she?
gave them her passport.
How did she get the $1 million? Because she couldn't do it with any of the scamming and scheming.
She probably found a bank account. You never know. Or,
Well,
or they probably put a bracelet on her as well. Cute little anklet.
do you think this is going to be her last season?
If she goes no, like oh my God. If she goes to jail, they'll wait for her to get out so that they could bring her back on again, like how they did with Teresa.
Oh, well, let's talk about Teresa. Do you think that They will bring back Dina and Caroline on Jersey because they going at it right now.
Dina is not coming back. First of all, she ain't speaking to Caroline because Caroline gave that letter of speaking up for the character letter for the person who I think beat them the hell up in their house. Yeah, I think Caroline's dead to her, and I think Jersey is dead to her. They're not coming back.
I wish they would because everybody needs money.
No, I think that I think her welfare is more important because they did get beat bad.
Mm. Well, it should be interesting. It should be interesting to see because I was hearing they going at it because remember they saying that Dina might go to jail too for frauding the system, lying about being what was she? She said she was got robbed and she wasn't.
Okay, so Yanni says we need a full live about this. When
Oh,
are you going live?
tomorrow.
Okay. And you're going to talk about this same Belize thing because I'm going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it because this Belize thing, like, I have never had such a slow drip of information in my life.
Okay, and Yanni agrees with me. You defend the man that tried to kill me, and you, my sister, no.
Well, it's getting worse because they say, can
Mm.
I ask you something? Why is Bravo, before we go, what is going on with the Shaws? We're 3 episodes in and I haven't seen no fighting.
I think it's a little refreshing, and Gigi has turned a page because remember, Gigi was the catalyst for a lot of the physicality on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess because she's a mom now, she's trying to turn over a new leaf. She has someone else to be responsible for, not just herself. I'm cool with her not doing the physical stuff. Um, I'm giving the Shaws a little bit more time to marinate in my soul.
Okay. And I will be doing this Sunday, we're going to do a Bravo update because we have to update on a few people because I've been seeing foolishness from y'all favorite Bravo celebrities and we'll be talking about the Bravo con and
Oh my
and how
God.
ridiculous Andy Cohen is with those prices. Did you see those prices?
I thought that they would have been like lower, but it seems like they're higher. I don't know. That just seems like a virus event to me. Sorry. But good luck with
Well,
that.
yeah, good luck. And the Family Karma comes on today, right?
Yes, tonight after Beverly Hills. I think I'm so excited. I like them. I like them a
Okay.
lot.
After Beverly Hills. Okay,
I
okay.
think
And
so. I
that's the
might be
only
wrong.
new show, right? That's the only one.
Yeah, they premiere tonight.
Okay. Well, we're going to be watching Bravo again. This is so weird. Feels like
Wait,
2013.
hold on. Let me make sure like what time Family Karma is coming on because I don't want to miss it myself. Family Karma.
I'm finally caught up.
On what?
Family Karma.
Oh, you never watched it before?
I watched like the first episode, but I didn't, watch it through because I thought it was a ripoff Shaw, so I was protesting.
Oh my God, really?
You know how like shows are too. I was like, no, Bravo be better.
I can't find it. Well, guys, check your local listings. Family Karma. Oh, it comes on at 9. It comes on at 9 o'clock tonight. So I guess Beverly Hills comes on at 8.
Yeah, what
I
comes
don't
on
know.
at 8? Maybe that Below Deck that y'all refuse to get canceled.
Below Deck is Mondays at 9.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
it was good seeing you. I
I
will be back
know.
for
Yes, please
tomorrow
do.
because we have a ton of things. And the best news is we don't
Hmm.
have to watch Married at First Sight tonight.
Oh my God, thank God that drivel is over. It
But
is
I hear
over.
Marrying Millions is coming back soon.
Yay, Rodney? Because that's the only reason why I watch.
No, he hasn't come out yet.
Well, I will continue watching until he does.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for popping in. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, don't forget to tune into Ablavi's YouTube channel. It's called Ablavi M. And tomorrow she's going live. I will be there. Hope you guys tune in too. We're shutting this down. Jamal has left me. Ablavi has left me. So give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. This was a show on the Real Housewives of New York City. Tomorrow we will be doing Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Family Karma. So come and check us out at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Until next time.